And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys. I hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's live stream, as always, please do smash the old like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Guys, in today's video, or today's live stream, I'm going to do something a bit different. As I said, Rangers not playing today, nothing really going on within the Rangers space, so I just thought I'd discuss the bigger picture. Now, in terms of how Saturdays go, well, Saturday was fairly poor fixtures if you actually look around in terms of the world, even in the world really. The English Premiership, just a lot of crap games, no afternoon kickoff, nothing really within Germany, Italy, Spain either in terms of good games. And I like my football, I like to spend the weekend watching something, so I was forced into watching the Saturday afternoon kickoff between Livingston and Celtic. Now, look, in terms of how games go, I said I don't really watch Celtic play that often, and when I do, it's when I have watched them this season, they haven't been that good. And this game just kind of sparked a inner discussion within me to basically ask the question, is Scottish football at its worst? Now, for those of you that didn't watch the game today, it was at Livingston. The Tony Macaroni can prove to be a bit of a leveller due to the plastic park, and sometimes when they go away to these sorts of grounds, whether it be Rangers or Celtic, it can usually be a tough test for our teams. Now, Celtic are going into this game with a depleted squad. Their players, they've lost a lot of their players really due to injuries, suspensions, and all the rest of it, and they are on like a thin line. Now, when I did tune into the match, I was maybe expecting a decent test, a decent battle. And, Livingston, just to prove what David Martindale does, he kind of sets them up in the right way and tries to go out there to try and take points off of the big teams. Now, it became an interesting one. Obviously, Celtic took the lead fairly early on. And then, of course, Joe Hart got sent off. And I was like, right, okay, now this is a proper leveler here. We might actually start to see an even game despite Celtic being ahead in terms of the scoreline. However, as the game went on, I was pleasantly surprised as to, well, how bad Livingston were playing against 10 men. Now, I know there's a cliche there that people could say, oh, well, it is kind of hard to play with 10 men, but the quality that they had in that game, in terms of Livingston, the balls into the box, the threat that they were trying to prove, they were so bad. Then I got into the second half there again, and I just felt, wow, what a bad and poor game of football, which made me ask the question, is Scottish football at the worst it's ever been? Now, I do take an interest in Celtic's results, obviously, because of Rangers. We're currently, and I'm not saying Rangers are any good, Rangers are a part of the problem here as well, I would say, but what I'm trying to say is, obviously, I do take a sort of interest into Celtic's results because they do matter to us in terms of where we are and where we position in the title, in the race for the title. So, obviously, I was backing Livingston. There's no secret there, but my goodness me, they were so bad, and it's just making me raise this question. David Martindale, Livingston's Tony Macaroni Arena used to be a place where, well, actually it could be a tricky fixture for the old firm, but now we've got 10 men. It was so bad, and I don't know where to go with this because, well, we're currently I don't know how many points where we are now, 5 points. Well, obviously we do play tomorrow, but you can't really rely on these teams to help us out within the terms of the title race. Celtic are at their actual poorest right at this moment in time, and it's just making me ask this question. I just wanted to spark a conversation about it with other people. William said Hart should have been off the first game of the season as well. James Alexander, I mean, it is what it is. But I just figured, just come on here for a couple of minutes, a quiet day. But is Scottish football the worst it's ever been? I mean, I couldn't think about such a poorer game that I've ever watched. Andrew says, got to remember Celtic played with 9 men on Tuesday, so Celtic done well with 10 men. No, I know, look, people are going to sit here and take away things from Celtic, and as I said, Celtic did well to grind out the result with 10 men that they had. Fair play to them. Look, that's the sign of a champion's or a league-winning team, grinding out. But my topic of discussion is the rest of the teams within the Scottish Premiership. Livingston, my goodness me. Even in general as well, Celtic have been really poor this season. It just goes to show how poor we've been. As I said, hopefully Thursday does create something different for us in terms of going forward. Hopefully that's the platform for us to go forward and take the thing into our own hands and take the title race into our own hands. But looking at the rest of the teams within the Scottish Premiership, I can't believe we lost to Kilmarnock. But at the same time, if this is Celtic at their worst, going down to 10 men as well, it's just a situation that I can't kind of get over. I really do think the Scottish League is very poor at the moment. It's probably the worst it has ever been. I mean, I know it sounds like a crazy statement to come out with, but over the years, look, I'm an Englishman, right? I've grown up in England my whole life. I support Rangers. Always have. So at school, naturally, I always used to defend the Scottish game because, well, friends are all supporting big English teams and all the rest of it. And, Scottish football does come under a lot of unnecessary criticism and people who haven't really watched the game just call it pub league. But my goodness me, if you watch that game today, you are thinking pub league. 10 men for an hour, and Livingston didn't do anything. And that's the point. That's the point I'm trying to make here. It's a dire straits in a place right now in terms of Scottish football. I don't think it's. It doesn't look good at all. It doesn't look good at all, and you're trying to hope for these teams to try and take some points off of this sort of stuff in the in the world of this stuff. They were poor. Livy are better than today. Fascinating disasters concerning that these other teams are guff against a struggling 10-man Celtic. Season is done for Rangers. Now, I wouldn't go as far to say as the season is done for Rangers. Of course, looks early days in terms of where we are in the title race, but it is concerning because we have lost our home game against them. I do think, look, Celtic are only going to get better as the season goes on. But this is the problem. This is the problem that I'm looking at now is that, well, they are going to get better. They're in dire straits at the moment, really. Let's be perfectly honest. In terms of where they are, in terms of how depleted their squad is, they're still grinding out wins at one of the most trickiest away grounds within the league with 10 men for an hour. Now, that just goes to show... I mean, I can't say that they're good because they're not. And I think Celtic fans will be the first ones to tell you that they haven't been good this season. But it just makes me question reality. It's making me question the situation with regards to not only us, but the other teams in and around us. What's going to happen this season. But we look at it now. We've only got 3 Old Firm games left to play. I think, as I say, obviously we have it. If we do win if we do win the game tomorrow, where do we sit? Sorry. If we win tomorrow, we go into 12 points. So we're 4 points behind. My goodness me. It's mental, isn't it? It's crazy how we're 4 points behind. We've lost 2 games against this struggling Celtic side. I do find it a bit of an issue. I do find the Scottish League absolutely horrendous at the moment. I really do. I can't help but express my opinion on it. Yeah, it's poor. But I just want to get some guys' thoughts and girls' thoughts on the situation at the moment within the SPFL. We all know the other teams in Scotland are full of Celtic fans that they don't try against Celtic. It's been in bad way for years, and we simply don't have enough money for our clubs to develop like the other big leagues out there. It's crazy to give the away team 3 stands for your home game. Look, that may be part of the problem. Again, look, I'm not going to begrudge that because Rangers obviously get the same thing. We do get the 3 sides of the ground as well. But I don't know. I just don't know what's going on with the Scottish Premiership. I just don't. I mean, again, look, as I said, Rangers are part of the problem as well. And as I said, I'm hoping Thursday we turn over a new leaf. We're like the fact that we're not leading this title race at the moment and we're 4 points behind says a lot about us as well. So don't worry. I am looking in the mirror. I'm looking at us as well. I'm not saying that we're exempt here by any means. We're just as bad as everybody else. But as I said, I'm hoping Thursday is some positive. We can kind of go and kick on and go and beat Motherwell. But I just, it just makes me concerned because years gone by, the Old Firm games were not irrelevant, but you could lose an Old Firm game. You could lose a couple of Old Firm games and still win the league because the teams in and around us would take points off the other teams. And that's the situation I'm saying, is that I don't think the other teams in and around, yes, you can make a case for St Johnstone taking or parking the bus at Celtic Park and they took 2 points off of them. But in terms of the other sides, like hoping to get a job done and in terms of trying to take points off of the others within the title race, I think those days are gone. Genuinely, I can't see it. I can't see it ever happening, which is super annoying to see. So it means that we got to go win at Parkhead now. In terms of if we didn't win at Ibrox, are we going to win at Parkhead? Probably not. But yeah, just super frustrated. I mean, I don't usually get bogged down by other people's results, but my goodness me, an hour playing against 10 men on a plastic pitch. It's frustrating. It was frustrating to watch, but yeah. I just thought I'd just spark the conversation. I just wanted to see what people's thoughts are, if I'm the only one that thinks this, in terms of, is Scottish football the worst it's ever been? I just want to get thoughts and opinions on the matter, and it wasn't anything really in it. I just wanted to know if I'm the only person who shares this thought, or other people are thinking the same thing after that game. I don't know. And that's not taking, again, I don't like to be bitter, because I'm not a bitter person. I'm not taking anything away from Celtic. As I said, they did their job. They got the 3 points. As I said, if my team was 10 men with an hour to go, yeah, fantastic. You've obviously done something right. I'm just talking about the quality up front for Livingston. And I would say, from a Celtic point of view, their backline was all over the place. Like, in terms of the game, Celtic's backline were everywhere. They weren't exactly not prolific. They weren't exactly strong at the back. It's not like they were really resolute. I just don't think Livingston created enough and sparked them enough mistakes. But look, it is what it is. I'm not going to stop going on about it, but yeah, it is what it is. I just wanted to know what your guys' thoughts are. And plus, it's Saturday. It's hee-haw going on. No games today anyway. Literally nothing. Bit bored. So I just thought I'd spark a little live streaming, come on and discuss it. But it is what it is. Now, that's the whole point. The money in the league is brutal. It's the SFA's fault. But it's always been like that. Rangers and Celtic have always had the gulf in terms of the finances. That's never really changed. Let's be perfectly honest. It's always been the same in terms of Celtic and Rangers have always had that massive disparity between the other teams and Rangers and Celtic. I don't know. I just think the rest of the teams are still crap. And I put us in there as the same. The other teams still beat Rangers, though, yet Celtic miles ahead, says Fascinating Disasters. Again, you could say that. But again, having said that, we lost to Kilmarnock. Celtic lost to Kilmarnock as well. I don't think we lose regularly to these other teams. I think under Michael Bull, I think Aberdeen and Kilmarnock is the only teams we've lost to under him. So I don't think it's necessarily that the case. How can you win 3-0 down to 10? I know, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm sparked here making the video, because I do think it's a joke. It's crazy. 2-team league, when Rangers are on form, the rest don't have a clue. Again, I think it tells a lot about us this season as well. If I think Celtic, as I said, are only going to get better, and they are literally at their bare bones at the moment and still managing to find ways of winning. Coming off the Champions League as well, I've seen that, they're crap as well. But hopefully we can get a win and just really carry on a winning run. As I say, it will be 4 points tomorrow should we win the game. But yeah, let's see. Let's certainly find out. But that's enough from me, guys. As I said, I've just come on, spark a bit of conversation. If any comes up tonight, then I'll let you know. But we'll be live for the Rangers Motherwell game later on. As I said, do let me know your thoughts on Scottish football as a whole. Let me know your thoughts on that game earlier if you watched it, if you didn't watch it. But yeah, do let me know your thoughts down there in the comments.